Well, we are pleased to be joined by Wisconsin and coach and student athletes. We'll start with an opening statement by Coach Sheffield and then take questions for coach and student athletes. So, Coach, if you want to go ahead.
We're certainly excited to still be playing and against a site with three other legendary programs, great coaches, all the schools that invest quite a bit in this sport. Joined here by our two captains, Charlie Furbringer and Carter Booth, two All-American players that have led our team up to this point, and we've watched two matches already today. The Sweet 16 has gotten started, and I think everybody here is champing at the bit to get started. So we're fired up to be here and excited to get rolling tomorrow.
Thank you, Coach. Let me know if you have a question. Do we have the mics here to bring people as they ask questions so people can hear your questions for coach and student athletes? We'll start in the front row right here.
For both Charlie and Carter, where do you guys feel like you've seen the most growth from this team? From when you started at the beginning of the season at the Kohl Center to where you are now.
I think just even from those first few games, we were really still getting used to each other. I feel like our cohesiveness has obviously gotten a lot better with time. That's natural as you play, but I feel like something that's not come naturally and that we've actually had to work on is our ability to, stay focused out the duration of a match and believe in ourselves that we can come back from any situation. I think our fight and our fire that we've shown in some of these close matches and in our last 11 matches has, come from really hard work and focus and practice, and I think we've gotten really great at it.
Yeah, I think communication's another thing that doesn't come naturally for a lot of our players, and just seeing the growth individually for each of us, being able to communicate on the court and just being better at that overall. It's been really good.
Thank you. We'll go all the way in the back. Go ahead.
For Carter, you guys are on the road a lot during the season, but obviously in the postseason it's a bit different. How does it feel different at all traveling when your season's on the line?
I think we've done a good job of preparing ourselves week in and week out, that we're always treating it like the game is on the line, the season's on the line. We've traveled and we've played in difficult environments. We've played in gyms where, tomorrow at Stanford, Wisconsin, I don't know a whole lot of Wisconsin and Stanford fans that are based out of Texas. So it's going to be a pretty empty gym. And we've experienced that different places that we go. And, you give credit to the Big Ten that, every night's a battle. So we're used to that kind of fight. And I don't know, weirdly enough, I was here in this exact same seat 4 years ago, my freshman year, playing in the postseason here at Texas in the Sweet 16. So I think we've prepared ourselves, and we're ready to handle whatever's thrown at us.
Let me know if you have questions. We'll bring the microphones around. We'll go back here to the front row.
For any of you guys, where do you see maybe some similarities with, the Stanford team that you're playing tomorrow with the team that you guys faced last year, and kind of where are they a little more different this year?
Like Stanford compared to last year than this year. I feel like they're a pretty similar team like they were last year, a really strong serving team, really good passing team. So that's going to be a battle for us behind the service line, putting pressure but keeping our balls in because they're not going to give us any points. We're going to have to earn all of our points, so yeah.
Thank you. We'll go back to the back.
For Kelly, obviously you mentioned these are storied programs that are here, all four of them. But Wisconsin has actually never beaten Stanford, and it's been kind of a thorn in the side the past few years. What is it about their program that makes them great, and what gives you confidence that that streak can break tomorrow?
They have a lot of talent, and they've had talent for decades. And, I think in my time here, I think they've ended our season 3 times. We've had some great battles that we have fallen on the short end of it. But that's probably not uncommon. You've got a lot of the same teams that are usually making it to this stage, and so typically you're seeing a lot of the same teams year after year. What gives you confidence? People to my right, that have put in the work, that are talented, that embrace challenges and want to do epic things. Their enthusiasm to still be playing and competing and and their joy of being around each other, their ability to handle a game plan, and their ferociousness out on the court. You want to be doing big stuff, epic things, and go up against the best teams. And it should be really compelling. I mean, the four teams here, the three matches, however it ends out, these are going to be really compelling matches. I'm sure television viewership is going to be huge. And I know these guys are ready to get going, and we're ready to test ourselves against one of the legendary programs in our sport. And and I'm sure they're feeling the same thing, wanting to go up against us. It should be a classic.
We'll go left side, back row. Go ahead.
13th straight season in this regional semifinal. Can you put into words what it takes to get to this point? And do you ever think about 13 straight seasons?
It's what we want to be. It's a program that year in and year out is amongst one of the best. It certainly takes administrative support at the highest level. It certainly takes committed athletes that want to get outside their comfort zone and compete. We've been very fortunate to have both of those. But it's cool. I mean, that's how do I put that into words? I probably not very good at it right now, because you get in this time of year and you just get so tunnel vision. Like the question was asked about how this Stanford team is similar to last year's team, and that almost blew a socket in my head. I was trying to figure out who was on that team. I mean, it's been 60 matches from when we played them last year to this year. And yeah, it's a lot of the same people, but my head was spinning trying to figure out what that was, and which is probably all right. I think the teams that are typically able to advance through the tournament, they're really good at being where their feet are. They're really good at paying attention to what is in front of them and what is next. And I'll probably have a lot more eloquent way of answering that question here in a month.
Thank you. Let's go over to the right side, second row. Go ahead.
Carter and Charlie, it hasn't been 13 years for you, but Carter, you referenced that you've been to this point throughout your years here. Charlie, you were here a year ago. How are you more prepared, and how do you take your experiences that didn't get you to where you ultimately wanted to go? How have you process that and use it sitting here now?
Yeah, I mean, just for me, seeing last year after we lost, watching the other teams advance further made me way more motivated, knowing that I wanted to be in that position. And I know for myself and most every other girl on our team, we're in the gym over 2 times a day. We want to win, and we put in the work to win, so we have that confidence knowing that we can make those passes that from the hard serves. We could set hard balls, and we can hit whatever shots we want because we put in the work. So, yeah, I guess just more confidence than last year for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think the past couple of years here, we've been, I mean, you could look at it from either way. It's a blessing or a curse, but we've been fortunate enough to be a team that could beat pretty much anyone we came up against just because we were talented. And we were never forced to get outside of our comfort zone and actually see what we are like in critical moments and during crunch time until we were in the tournament. Because we had, gone through most of the year not playing a ton of 5-set matches, not even going to 4 sets, sweeping almost everyone that we saw. I think this year we have been in a multitude of different situations. We went to 30-plus points against Florida within our first 10 matches of the season. We've played, like I said, on the road in really rowdy gyms. We've played against teams where we've gone down a set, or maybe we came out dominant the first 2 and they won a set. So I think, along the lines of what Charlie's saying, we've put the work in. We've been in these situations. We've been tested, and I feel pretty good about where we're at. And I think everybody on our team and staff would say the same thing.
Back to the front row. Go ahead.
For Carter, how do you sum up the impact that having Charlie back for the last month had, and how helpful is it to maybe have had this full month, almost month and a half, kind of on ramp to kind of get back in rhythm with her?
I mean, it's been really great to have those matches to sort of get going back again with Charlie. But I mean, we weren't stagnant during our time with Addie. Addie helped us a ton, and we kept the ship righted, and not just were we surviving, but we were getting better every single day. And I think that allowed us to have a smooth transition into this, like what we would call an on-ramp, this takeoff that we're kind of experiencing. And I would just say, like, our offense is lethal. Our defense is getting better every day, and we've worked really hard on it. And I just think we're getting to that part in the season where every day it's getting a little bit better and a little bit better, which is what you want to see at this time of year.
For Kelly, Addie not being in uniform for the first 2 rounds, do you anticipate her being available this weekend?
I do.
Has she been able to practice?
A little bit more every day, so that's been great, and that's what you want to do. I mean, you hate to get to this. We had 10 matches without Charlie, and I consider her as good of a setter as in the country, and as good of a setter as I've coached. And for us to finish second in the Big Ten without All-American setter for half the season, that's a real credit to her ability to continue to lead when she's out and to get herself back. Carter's ability to keep the team together and moving forward. But this time of year, you want everybody to experience this. I mean, it's awesome, right? I mean, it's epic. And, I know earlier we had a meeting today. There was a lot of frustration from the coaches about not having dedicated lines on the line, dedicated cameras on the lines for these matches for replay. Coaches in this tournament, I've heard from a lot of them, are really frustrated about that. Big thing is because this is the highlight, right, of the season. We ought to be putting not only our best foot forward as players, but you're trying to put your best foot forward as a sport, and so there's things that we can continue to get better as a sport. But Addie specifically, you get fired up when people are able to kind of work and get healthier and get back here, because you want to be a part of this, man. I mean, it's cool. You said Carter's been to this round 4 times, but it's not old hat for you. I mean, you still get fired up and the juice is going and everything else. It doesn't matter how many times you're in this round. It's awesome, and it just keeps getting better if you're fortunate enough to keep winning.
Yep, go ahead.
Kind of going off that, what did you learn the most about this team in those 10 matches that Charlie was out?
What did I learn about the team? I don't know. It's what I think it's just one of the things that our program is about is, you just keep marching forward, right? And it's the season doesn't slow down or stop for anybody. If one of the things we talk about is we kind of make an analogy of a train, right? In the season, you're on a train and it's going, and it stops about 30 times, however many matches we played, and everybody's got to get off, and you play a match, and win or lose, you've got a responsibility to get back on that train because it's moving forward. As it's going through the season, it's going to pick up speed. Everybody stayed on, right, and kept moving forward. And Addie just kept getting better, and the teammates, people are competitive, but there's also that balance of competing and figuring things out while also being patient, and that can be really tough when you're around a bunch of competitors. Addie is not Charlie, but we don't ask her to be, and we don't ask any of our setters to be somebody else or any of our players to be somebody, but that comparison naturally gets there. But the only way that you're going to be able to continue to have the season that we had is to be able to deal with adversity. And that was one of 100 things of adversity for our team. And I'm sure that many number has been for every other team that's still playing right now. How do you deal when things don't go your way is what it's all about.
Yep, go ahead. We have time for a couple more. Yep, go ahead.
For all three of you, Kelly's talked about how much this team has played with joy. Is there? I realize it's maybe hard to look too reflectively during the middle of this, but is there a moment this season where you feel like you guys have especially had a lot of joy?
No. Go.
Honestly, every game we've played, I mean, specifically, obviously, the Florida game was super joyful. Winning in that overtime in that Kohl Center and just that cool environment was super awesome. But I feel like we've just come out and played with so much joy every single match, and that's why this team is so tight-knit and so good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, winning is joyful. That's, I feel like that's what we're focused on here. Like, forget joy. What about fire? Like, we've come out and we have fought. And I think we've proven that we're willing to fight tooth and nail to get where we need to be. I think everybody is like Kelly said, tunnel vision on what we've got ahead of us. So there will be time to reminisce in a few weeks. But right now it's, how are we going to fight tomorrow and the day after that if we make it there?
Yeah, just a lot of joy and fighting, like Carter just said. Like, also the North Carolina game, being down for a little in that third set, and then seeing the game changers come in and make those huge plays for us. I mean, couldn't have been happier in those moments.
Mm-hmm. We'll go to the back, camera platform. Go ahead.
Yeah, for Charlie or Carter, you guys have been at this stage, but a lot of your teammates have not, and people in the starting lineup. So what, if anything, do you tell them this week or in past practices as far as dealing with adversity and how to respond if things are not going your way based on your past experiences?
I think just giving the, letting them know that we believe in us, in our team, and that we could come through any adversity that we face, which we have in the past, but knowing that, having them know that we believe that we could beat any team as long as we stick together.
Thank you. We'll take one more. Did you have another one, or?
It's nothing new. I think you get yourself into trouble if you're treating this differently than what you've treated the entire season, right? And so I don't know if there's the messages that are being shared, me and the rest of our coaches to our team and these guys as experienced players to people who this is their first time. We're not writing it's nothing new, right? It's the same thing. It's the messages, and that's where part of your confidence comes from. Your confidence comes from putting the work in, but it's also about, establishing a routine and sharpening the blade as you're moving forward rather than recreating something.
Go ahead.
To that point, Kelly, I think John asked you a version of this question earlier this week on your radio show, but when you get to this point, the talent margins and the margins of the game are so narrow with how great all these programs are. So what becomes the difference? What makes the difference in these matches?
You got to play good volley, right? I mean, it comes down to that, being able to play well and to play without fear. If you're in there and you're just trying not to make mistakes and then you're going to be sent home pretty quick because the other team's going to have control of that rally. They're going to grab control of the rally. And so it's one of the things that you try to do is you try to get control of the rally as soon as possible and try to end it when you can, but being smart along the way. And then you just got to stack points on top of each other. There's it's one of the beauty of our sport. You can't run out the clock, right? You can't get a lead and then just run it out. You've got to continue to pound away and until it's done. And there's nothing secret to it. There's no shortcuts to it. You've got to be good for however long that it takes.